world. WSA Snocross is on the air again. I'm Paul Page with Greg Kramer. We're in Gaylord, Michigan for the Skidoo Michigan National. Now, this was an event that 1 year ago had plenty of weather problems and as a result was canceled. We're not going to have that problem this year, though we do have some pretty serious issues with cold and wind. It's only 8 degrees and very windy.
And, of course, the concerns we have as we look at our Lenco snowmaking weather report is how it's going to affect the drivers. Sleds will be fine, but these riders, the hands and the like, some serious problems. Good look there at Tucker Hibbert. Comes in here, Paul, second in the points in both of the pro classes. He's not real happy with that.
And he's going to have to work hard if he actually wants to do something about it. Of course, who's at the top? Blair Morgan. There he is with Carl Kuster, his teammate.
Kuster, ironically, sits third in both of those classes, so Skidoo's Blair Morgan Racing looking pretty solid. Here are the points coming in after 8 rounds, and you see the margin that Blair Morgan has in the pro stock class over Hibbert. They're both well clear of Kuster, Amasalo, and Pitlick.
And not only are we going to show you pro stock, we're going to give you the pro open points after 8 rounds. And again, the top 3 remain the same. So as we go to the closing races of the season, it's going to be an interesting battle in both pro open and pro stock. Qualifying, pro stock.
This is going to be round 1 qualifying, and there you see it. Justin Tate, take a look at that graphic. He's been very successful in qualifying this year in this category. Sean Crapo, on the other hand, pretty decent qualifier, but he's had a few podiums in pro stock this year as well. This guy owns it 12 times, Paul. He has been a top qualifier already this year.
You're kind of running out of superlatives when you're talking Blair Morgan. Quite simply the best.
There's a limit to the hyperbole. You're absolutely right that you can keep dishing out.
Check of the line. And we're underway in qualifying.
Kuster way to the outside, but it's Morgan that got the whole shot.
Morgan surges out to the front. Tate comes up into second place, and look at that. Whoa, what a nice move by Tate as he goes to the front.
Tate used that inside line and doubled right into the corner. Now Morgan coming after him, and look at the air. Look at Morgan.
Oh, this is good racing. Tate still stays in front. Yeah, think of the power and the energy it needed to do that. Come up with that double right away, and I'm sure that shocked Morgan.
Well, and the commitment to do that right away, absolutely.
Maybe more so.
Normally that's Blair's forte as well, as being able to pull those big things off early. But look at the air, this jump on the back straight. Here comes Blair.
Morgan on the outside again, and he holds him off again. Whoa, baby.
Well, I tell you what, I thought Morgan had that move, and Tate just fired right across the nose of Morgan's sled. And Morgan had to check up, or he was going to get into Tate hard. So these guys battling hard. A little bit further back here. Watch this battle here. This is 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Trevor John, Ibsen, Amasalo back at the front.
Same scenario. Oh, Morgan's up
Again! Whoa! Okay, while you're doing superlatives, that was a super off.
That certainly was. And that was, Morgan knew that he could get up alongside, but Tate kept squeezing him, pinching him. And when Morgan landed, he just misjudged the jump a little bit. And that's what forced him off a little more to the inside, hooked that ski over the edge, and it just sucked him right down to the infield.
So Tate, Trevor John, Blair Morgan sits back in 3rd.
Look at that. WSA on that back straight has created a huge, I mean a huge double back there. You get a good look at Ibsen sitting in the 4th spot, and these guys are airing it out big time on that back straight.
You know, Ibsen's right there with Blair. He could be taking the spot away from him if he keeps it up.
Well, Kent has certainly shown in the past he's got the ability. It's just been a little tough for him to find the form. Right now, though, Trevor's the guy who's going to be worried, because here comes Morgan working that inside line again.
Yeah, and it works for him as he gets around Trevor John, goes to second place behind Tate now.
Well, he went right back to it, so it's getting back on the horse that kicked him off the time before, although he did give it a bit more room. And sometimes, Paul, we forget, coming over these big jumps, that is about as blind an approach as you can imagine. It is a huge ramp, and as you're going up it, all you see is sky. And if you have your angle off just a little bit, it's going to throw you to one side or the other, and sometimes it'll throw you right off the track, as Blair found out.
Justin Tate bogs down a little on the corner, takes a look back. Wants to make sure he knows where second place is as they come to the line. Second place is Blair Morgan. Justin Tate takes the win. And Carl Kuster finishes up in 6th place.
Well, that's not going to help him in terms of trying to make up some points on Hibbert in the battle for second in the championship. Watch this right here. Morgan to the inside, and he just floats a little too far left. That ski lands on the outside of that berm. Watch it right here. Hooks him, pulls him right down into the infield.
We'll be back with more Snocross.
Go back to the Gaylord round of WSA Snocross. You know, in the past few years, we've had a serious problem, a lack of snow. We always talk about it. Mother Nature's been real cheap in the nice white stuff. Well, here in northern Michigan, they've had too much snow. Actually, so much snow that they've gone out to the track and scraped snow away and brought it over here. I don't know why. I think big snow, big jumps, whatever. But for more on that, let's go inside to Greg Kramer and find out how that's affected the track.
Well, thanks, Jerry. As a matter of fact, after they removed the snow to make sure logistically they had paddock parking and the like here at the fairgrounds, it gave them those resources, all those piles, to build one of the deepest tracks of natural snow we've seen, not this season, but in years. And one of the most gnarly parts of this track, the one that I'm particularly watching, is right here. Out of this first turn, there are 4 monster rollers. If you can get a rhythm in here, you can make up immense time. But if you get knocked off your stride at all, we're seeing crash after crash after crash in the practice and qualifying rounds that have already run. It's been unbelievable. Plus, into this next corner here, it's about a 120 degree. It is a crucial turn. And as we're watching these semi-pros out for a quick practice, they come out of that turn, it leads them into a gnarly section of track over one big jump, and then following it, a monster flyaway. You've got to get out of here with great momentum, so if you screw up going in, you're in trouble heading out.
So we've got this run here, and then the grand finale, the Nielsen Enterprises grand finale, and there are the times for our coverage. So 2 to go. Well, what do you think you're going to do now?
You know, being a pro snowcrosser is a pretty good gig, but you have to definitely get your job done. So, with 2 races left, how are these guys going to stomp it? We asked them, and they told us, and we're going to tell you right now. Golden Noel Kohansky, with 2 races to go in the season, how do you want to finish out your statement?
Oh, my statement, definitely a couple podiums, Jerry. I'm kind of lacking some podiums right now.
How many podiums do you have this year, Noel?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, Jerry.
How do you want to finish out the year with 2 rounds to go?
I got 4 chances to make the podium. I'd like to be on there for all 4. Simple as that.
Do you have fun doing what you do?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this job is, you know, you can't beat it. We race on weekends and get to put on a little show and have a fun time doing it.
2 races to go. What's Brad Pitlick going to say?
Every weekend we've just been going out and pushing it as hard as we can, and I think we got all the tools that it takes to kick some serious butt out there.
You just race snowcross for chicks' phone numbers, though, don't you?
Yeah, except lately I haven't been getting a whole lot.
Todd Wolf, if you had to make a pronounced statement to wind up the year with 2 rounds to go, what would you do? You'd actually talk when the guy asked you a question, you'd reply.
We want to get on some podiums.
Semi-pros need love too, like Steve Martin, number 127. What is your final statement?
Give her all she got.
Double championship?
That'd be nice.
You know what they say in TV land? Cha-ching!
I hope so.
Mr. Holshot, Kent Dipson, what are your goals for the final 2 rounds?
Definitely take podiums in the next 2 weekends.
Don't you love that sound?
Definitely.
All right, is it a mod or a stop?
Definitely a mod.
I feel the need for speed. Thank you.
The qualifying is complete now in Pro Stock. We're ready to go with the final. But you'll notice that when you read down there, where's Carl Kuster?
Well, that is the question of the hour, isn't it? He had 2 6th-place finishes in the qualifying round heats, which put him in the LCQ. and he couldn't even advance through that. He has had simply in pro stock a miserable day. And here's a look at what happened to him in the LCQ. Watch this. He's on the making the pass to the inside. Jamie Chaney goes to cut underneath, and Chaney runs the ski right up into the tunnel of Kuster's sled. They get interlocked. Chaney comes off. Kuster's parked. Couldn't make it to the top 4 even in this one. So bad day.
So coming up, the Pro Stock Final from the Skidoo Michigan National. But first, it's time for Inside Cross with Greg Kramer. Inside Cross is brought to you by Ride FX, high performance shops.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Inside Cross. You know, the story of the points championships in the pro divisions this year could well be labeled reversal of fortune. Last year, when Tucker Hibbert had his big run to the championships, all the unfortunate breaks went to Blair Morgan. But this year, it's been this outfit. When you take a look at the wins column, Morgan has 9, Hibbert has 6, but there's still 2 big point spreads in both of those classes. Why? One, Hibbert had big problems at Shawano. He got docked those 10 points in the stock class and blew up right off the line and open. The other big story, though, is qualifying. Morgan has 12 times been the top qualifier. Hibbert, only 4. But how does that affect their riding styles? For Morgan, does he preserve, take it easy, go conservative? And for Hibbert, I'm guessing second for him's no better than 10th if you're not champion. So does he have nothing to lose, and is he going all out in these last 2 rounds?
I know that I'm pretty good lead in both, but you know what? If you start riding cautious, you know, that's when dumb things happen where you crash or something like that. So I'm just going to go out there and do what I've been doing every time and try to win races.
I've won a championship every year since I got on the pro level, so it's going to be kind of weird and, you know, hard to not win a title.
There's something really gnarly out there that you want to do. You might second guess it a bit, but if Tucker's out front, I'm going to try to catch him. I'm just not going to kick back. I'm just going to try to go for it.
I definitely don't have anything to lose, and Blair's got it all to lose. So I guess the pressure's a little more on him, and you never know what can happen with Blair and the points. And we're just going to go out and try and win every race we're in. I just want to prove to everyone that I'm the fastest rider out there, and you know that's the best I can do.
So coming up next, it's the Pro Stock Final. What may be a key to the whole championship. We'll be right back. All right, here at the Otsego County Fairgrounds, Gaylord, Michigan, ready for the Pro Stock Final. And that's the lineup for you.
A couple of interesting developments here. One, we talked about a Carl Kuster third in points, not in the race, didn't make it. The other thing is Blair Morgan shut out qualifying in terms of wins. He had 2 seconds, and Tucker Hibbert a 6 in his first round. So Morgan's opened that point lead up a little more. That inside line to good effect. Oh!
Pitlick! Oh, man!
He landed right on top of Ross Martin. Pitlick got the worst of that. There's Ross. He's holding that left hand just a little. Oh! Pile up. Unbelievable.
Gibson, Tate, Mike Island, all of them. At the front, Tucker Hibbert with Crapo right behind him.
Crapo actually got the Sport Tech Hole Shot Award, but Hibbert quickly to the front, and Morgan, who got buried again, is fighting up from 4th, going for 3rd.
And now he's got 3rd as he takes it away from Noel Kohansky.
Now you saw the yellow flying, but Morgan got the nose in front of Kohansky before they got to the yellow. That pass is good, and look at him air it out over that huge backside jump.
So Blair Morgan coming from 3rd place with Tucker Hibbert. Hibbert literally has to win, has to do anything he can to stay in that top spot if he wants to take away the championship. And right now, Sean Crapo's trying to ruin that for him.
What Crapo matching him. Look at Morgan cannon it over the jumps. Watch Blair now when he goes over this front side finish jump. See how he squats down just a little bit? there's not a lot of room to land that big finish jump before you get to that next turn. And Morgan has the ability, he squats like that, absorbs some of the upward motion, gets him back down on the track faster, but allows him to hit the jump with a fair head of steam. And that allows him to close up an awful lot, keep his forward momentum going. Oh!
Crapo hits a slower sled.
Pitlick again. That's twice now.
Man. Fortunately, he recovers quickly and keeps going because he's still got Morgan breathing down his back.
For Pitlick, in the first incident, he was the lander. The second one here, he was the landee.
My guess is you really probably ought to give it up after you've been hit twice in the same race.
Boy, and it's still dealing with one of those incidents right there. Look at that jump. Just spectacular. Working some traffic here.
And traffic is going to be critical now because all of the leaders have to work their way through it.
There's Lavallee, sits in the 5th spot. He's been having a fine second half to the season, but right now he's watching his teammate, Sean Crapo, running in second and trying to fend off one of the greats. That's Mike Geiland.
He was bringing parts back.
Yeah, that sled obviously got pretty well trashed.
Back on that fight for second place now. Noel Kohansky is right behind this. And a moment ago, we showed you Levi Lavallee, who currently sits 5th. Tucker Hibbert out in front, unchallenged at the moment.
Hear that very interesting sound out of Hibbert's track. If we can listen to it again at some point. It's an approved aftermarket track, but it's got a unique lug pattern, and as it runs up through the tunnel, it really makes an interesting sound. It doesn't sound right, but it's very effective.
Morgan charges on Crapo.
Oh, did you see him get up? Just turn it, hit the throttle. Just using all of the physics he's got right there to get that thing to turn and get on the gas.
And he tries to get down on the inside. And he gets it done. Morgan to second. But Sean Crapo's going to come right back. He forces Morgan high. It's still a neck-and-neck run.
Morgan, did you see his response? He came back, parked him, and then the big look back in the air to say, there, you want to play that game? I'll play it right back.
So now Morgan second place in pursuit of Tucker Hibbert. Todd Wolf is able to move up into 5th place now. He came out of the LCQ.
He'd been talking, we heard it earlier, that they want a podium these last races. He's only a couple of spots shy of that right now. There's that huge backside jump. You can see Morgan has already opened the gap up just a little bit. Gonna go back and take a look at this scrap.
Oh man, there's Kohansky, Amasalo, Tate, they're all in there.
Oh, Lavallee just snuck by. And he got Amasalo. Oh no, Amasalo followed him through.
Amasalo's coming with him.
Boy, Tomey did not. Oh, look at that move.
He's got Lavallee. Oh man.
Amasalo has gone to the outside line in those first couple corners, Paul, and he's found a very quick line back there as well.
So here is that fight for 5th. Tomey Amasalo and Levi Lavallee.
Now Levi not able to close up now. Matter of fact, he's actually losing
Take you a little
ground.
bit deeper here. Here's the battle for 8th. Justin Tate and Ibsen.
There's that sound again. Those Articats are running a very unique aftermarket track, and it puts up a sound like the engine's actually in trouble, and that's not it at all. Boy, that group has joined this group. We now got 4 sleds duking it out for 6th.
Oh, this is some great stuff.
Some awesome racing. Kohansky up the inside. He's got a nose ahead. Gets followed. Look at Ibsen.
Everybody's getting Lavallee.
Wow. Poor Lunch and Levi. I've never seen it. He dropped like a brick right there.
That's got to hurt.
Well, he opened the door up when Kohansky got underneath him and pushed him a little wide, and Ibsen said, thank you. And Ibsen just blew by Kohansky.
Fight continues on the final lap in front. It's still Tucker Hibbert.
Well, for Hibbert, all the battling that Morgan did trying to get by Crapo allowed Tucker to open up a pretty decent little margin, Paul, and he's untouchable right now unless he makes a mistake.
Yeah, but at least we forget he's still in the middle of traffic.
Oh! No,
Tate working on him.
Noel landed from that jump, and I mean, it was ultra awkward.
With plenty of room, Tucker Hibbert takes the win. Blair Morgan will finish in second. Man, that was one fine piece of racing.
That was a great race indeed, and Hibbert, even though he wins it, I hate to say it, but with that sixth and that one qualifying, he didn't do much in terms of padding his points. And there's Sean Crapo, another podium. This kid is lighting it up as of late.
Yeah, there's a happy guy. That's what he needed. He really needed that. Tommy Amasalo finally finishes up in 5th place. Here are the results, Pro Stock Final.
Hibbert with a big win over Morgan. Crapo another podium. Wolf close to that podium he wanted. Amasalo, as you said, 5th. And Tucker, I don't know if he's got a shot at the points championship, so he's going after wins one way or the other.
That's how you do that, boys.
Yeah, but you got to do that in qualifying as well, because Tucker actually lost ground even though he won in the final. Let's go down to Jerry Bernardo and Tucker.
T-Train, it's a beautiful day. Though it's about 7 below, you had a great ride. Earlier in qualifying, you chased down Blair Morgan and passed him. But in this, the stock final, you didn't have to worry because you hole-shotted and led the whole thing. That's a good ride. Now, how do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, I've been winning a lot of races lately, and you know, the championships, they're kind of slipping away from me, but it just feels good to come out here and win, and that's what our main focus is. So I feel really good. Chevy Truck Speedworks Arctic Cat getting great starts, and you know, I'm feeling awesome. My trainer Gary Semix, and you know, we've just been working hard, and it shows.
We got denied last year here at Gaylord. The race got canceled. The fans were all over you.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to be able to come out here and race because these guys didn't get to see us last year. So, yeah, it's a great place. It's a little cold, but I'm having a good time.
All right. Good job, man.
Thanks, bro.
Man, I hope he doesn't get any more sponsors. He's running out of room. So Tucker Hibbert has taken the Pro Stock Final at Gaylord, Michigan, and we'll be back with Pro Open. Welcome back to Gaylord, Michigan, the WSA Ski-Doo Michigan Nationals. And Carl Kuster currently 3rd in Open and Stock.
But he lost a ton of ground in the stock class by not making the final in that category, Paul. His 3rd is not secure.
Yeah, let's go down to Jerry Bernardo.
Bad luck for Carl Kuster, who didn't make it into the main. You had problems in the LCQ. Tell me what happened when you got hooked up with Cheney.
Real tight left-hander over there, and seems to be where most of the pileups have been happening so far today. And just, I think he might have got kicked in the back and jammed his ski right to the A-arm up the tunnel and couldn't get him unhooked.
Does that fuel your fire for the mods later on?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be trading some paint. Maybe run a few guys over.
So it's time for Pro Open qualifying. Carl Kuster has had 6 top 5 finishes in Pro Open finals this season.
And we saw in Winter X that when the fire's lit, he will go after somebody and will rub some paint.
There's your lineup. Round 1, Heat 2. Pro Open qualifying. Here we go.
Sean Crapo once again. I tell you, Paul, this guy owns the start. Oh! Yuji
is off, and that's not a very safe place to do it. In the middle of the crowd. As they go roaring past. And Yuji's okay. He's going to get back on the sled and get going. Crapo with Trevor John in pursuit.
Then it's the yellow skidoo of Kuster right there. But look at Ibsen's move. And look at the move by Shabitsky. Got them both, Paul.
Was amazing.
Unbelievable double pass. Obviously, Shabitsky was watching what was unfolding in front of him, realized he was going to take him out wide, and he went down and underneath both of them. Boy, there's Ibsen was pretty well grinding on Shabitsky there.
Oh, back to the front. Crapo. Oh, the 6th, gets caught up in that thing.
Well, I'd said that 40 Ibsen was being ultra aggressive and going back after Shabinsky, and that time he got into the back of him and just launched Carl.
And Carl needs some help to get out, yeah. Hope that Carl's okay. We go back to the battle. Trevor John, Carl Kuster. What's this? Kuster. Oh, man.
That thing just, oh, look at the smoke. It just shut down on him.
Yeah, Carl, you need to look at the other end of it. Sean Crapo leads it. Carl Kuster tries to get his sled off of the course. Trevor John sits in second. Then Pitlick.
That was Ken Ibsen, who was way back in the pack coming by. And look at this battle now. Morgan, as he got caught up in that Ibsen-Shabinsky melee, ended up dropping a couple spots. He's fourth, going after Pitlick.
Crapo all alone in front. Trevor John not a challenger at the moment. So we'll take it back to Pitlick and Morgan.
Oh. Crapo almost offloaded there. And here comes Blair now moving to the outside pass.
Blair Morgan makes it look easy, but he always does that. Still Pitlick's hanging in there and comes back, comes across. That's a Morgan move, and Pitlick used it. Didn't work.
Well, it worked in the first turn. Morgan used it right back on him in the second turn and parked him. Look at the hang time that they're getting on that jump.
Fight for the lead, and it's getting close. Crapo, Trevor John.
I tell you, Crapo almost offloaded at the start of that last lap. And it cost him a little bit of time, but boy, he's whipped it again.
Trevor John, second place. Out of the picture right now, so not really a challenge. And Sean Crapo takes the checkered flag and the win.
Meanwhile, there's a look at Carl Kuster, another huge problem in qualifying.
When we return, we'll continue with Pro Open action. Hey, we're back and ready to go from Gaylord, Michigan.
Good look here at Sean Crapo, and we often called Ken Ibsen Mr. Holeshot from a couple years ago, but I think Crapo may be stealing that nickname. He has been nailing those Sport Tech Holeshot awards all season long. Some of it might be that new Polaris technology and Mormonet pipe up. The rest of it's Sean Crapo and his reactions. He is unbelievable.
Nice crowd here. Look how the kids are bundled up. It's because it's cold. About 7-8 degrees. Wind's whipping through here.
They were boogieing, though.
Yeah, they were down.
And jamming some good tunes, apparently. Huge crowd.
So now we're set to go. Pro Open qualifying round 2.
Paul, this should be a great heat. First of all, you've got this guy, Blair Morgan, in it. Of course, second place in that pro stock final earlier, but even so, opened up his points lead by qualifying strong. And a third, though, in his first round of Pro Open, and he's going up in this one against Tucker Hibbert, who won that pro stock final. But Tucker has not been particularly effective sometimes in qualifying. This should be interesting.
And as we look at the lineup, don't forget the lessons learned from stock. Even though Hibbert won the final, he gave up points by not doing well in the qualifying.
And I do love that sound. Once again, Sean Crapo got the whole shot, but Morgan, what a sweet move.
Goodbye, baby. And Tucker Hibbert's going to come into second and challenge Morgan. They're side by side into the corner. Onto the stretch now. Tucker slots in behind Morgan.
Tucker's looking at the outside line in here, trying to do the outside in move. Did he get it? No, but you see, again, Morgan just turned that sled on its side as he went to throttle, just looking to get the bite, to get the launch.
Hibbert looking for an inside line. They come up, nose to tail, go side by side, and Tucker takes the lead.
Boy, Tucker, that was very much a Morgan-type attempted block pass. Morgan not done yet.
Oh, that has all the makings of some fun stuff.
Look at this!
Over, takes the lead. Tucker comes back.
Tucker knew exactly what Morgan was going to try and countered it beautifully.
Oh, man, everybody's going nuts here as Tucker Hibbert's back in front. Morgan chasing.
They both tilted over. That's something we haven't seen until this year. Turning the sled, using your body to pull the sled over, almost bicycling it up onto a side and then going to throttle and driving it like that. Right there, you see Morgan do it to get the arc around a corner. It allows you to corner much quicker, almost like a motorcycle up on a berm. These guys keep figuring out new stuff. It's unreal.
Looking back a little, there's Levi LaValle. And Tommy Amasalo is chasing him, and they're closing down on Trevor John in third place.
Here's a little right-hand kick, and then this blast down that back straight. This is the final turn. Here we go again, and right now Morgan, Paul, doesn't look like he's got anything for Tucker.
So Tucker has just done what he needs to do every qualifying race and round, and that is win if he wants to get enough points to come up with a championship.
And frankly, as you come up over that big jump in the back, the interesting thing with Tucker right now is if he is going to lose the championships that he won last year, he wants to go out with a bunch of wins and end the season strong that way. And look at this battle.
Here comes Levi LaValle trying to work on the 85 sled of Trevor John. Amasalo's right behind this. There you get a glimpse of Tommy. LaValle, they go side by side. LaValle's got him.
I was going to say, I think Trevor may be a little leery of having that red 108 behind him. Remember, a show ago in Shano, a couple of solid get-togethers between these two. And this time, it was the 108 of LaValle sneaking by clean. Hibbert got the win. Oh, look at that move.
Amasalo comes sweeping across the front of Trevor John. That leaves LaValle alone, and there is first and second Tucker Hibbert and Blair Morgan.
And they're also first and second in the points. How about third in the points? That's George Sherrard, Booster's race wrench, and he had that meltdown in that first heat. George worked a miracle, got Carl out, and got him a third in that second heat, Paul.
So there's the Pro Open qualifying results. Tucker Hibbert's done it exactly right. We'll be back with the final in Open after this. Gaylord, Michigan, the Skidoo, Michigan National. We're ready to go with Pro Open. The mud sleds are coming to the line, the big horsepower, and the championship continues to be an issue. 14 laps. Here are the guys involved.
Well, the interesting thing is Tucker Hibbert in this one, 2 wins as top qualifier. Blair Morgan shut out in the qualifying rounds. Hasn't had a win in either stock or open today. So Tucker doing what he needs to do, even though he's still trailing seriously.
But he still has a look at a championship, and there's a lot of talk about what will happen with Tucker when the season is over. We'll get to that. Here is Blair Morgan, current points leader.
And you see the difference in this stat here. Tucker 2 wins in Pro Open. Blair comes in here with 6. So a seriously tough run. And Kuster, what a miserable, I mean simply miserable weekend he's been having. He hopes something goes right in this one.
There's our man Sean Crapo, Mr. Hole Shot, we're calling him, because he has just been unbelievable at firing off the line and out front.
Listen to that crowd.
This has the potential of being terrific. Here we go.
Crapo, another good launch off the outside.
Oh, look at that. Crapo to the front, right from the far right side of the line, and goes to the lead.
Tate goes with him. It looks like Nakazawa up in third.
Boy, there's an unusual group of names for coming off the first couple of corners. Crapo, Tate up at the front.
What a move!
Justin Tate comes to the front. Crapo leans back on him. But Justin solidifies his lead. Here comes Crapo. Trevor John sitting there in third. Carl Kuster is fourth. And UD is fifth. Where are names like Hibbert and Morgan? They should be up in this group.
They are well out of the top 5, 6th, and 7th at this point right now. Boy, look at Trevor trying the outside of Crapo.
Trevor right there. Carl Kuster trying to get into it. Kuster is working Hibbert, or working on Trevor John hard. They're trying to find the sled 7 68. They're still back in the bottom half of the top 10.
Tucker just now got around Nakazawa and takes over a top 5 spot. He actually passed Morgan and then made the move and got by Nakazawa. Did you notice Kuster's move there? Very much like what his teammate Morgan does, and getting that sled way over on its side, trying to get a quicker response through the corners.
Crapo and Kuster been going at it constantly. Now comes Hibbert and Morgan.
Hibbert and fifth. Yep, Hibbert just able to get that nose in front of Morgan. Now, since the X Games, Paul, we've been hearing little rumors that Tucker may be considering retiring from Snocross at the end of the season, focusing on motocross. Those rumors have got nothing but stronger. Nothing official, but that is certainly out there. And that, along with some intense development on these Arctic cats, maybe why we're seeing this run of form out of Hibbert as of late.
Well, if he runs it smart, he will not make such an announcement until after the season is over. Look at that. Goodbye. Oh, man, what a pass.
And you noticed he got across that first jump. He was lower, hit the ground, hit it on the trigger, and was able to double the next 2 small holes that Crapo couldn't. And that pushes Hibbert into the 3rd spot. What a pass.
And more importantly, it puts Crapo in between them.
We have a report.
Well, Morgan's now stopped.
Yeah.
I was going to say that it put Crapo in between Hibbert and Morgan, but now Morgan's pulled to a stop.
Don't know exactly what the problem is. Well, there he is. He's going again, but oh, is he going slow? Something serious has let go inside that skidoo.
Enormous strength for Tucker Hibbert, as Hibbert now working on Morgan's teammate Carl Kuster.
Coming after him, Paul, and you're right, a break not only just in terms of not having the pressure of Hibbert.
Second,
going for Kuster, and it all went wrong. Watch what happens here. He gets underneath right there. Kuster cuts back. Tucker turns, and you see Tucker again had the sled up on the side trying to get that ramp, but this time it hurt as Kuster just clipped his ski, washed him over, and then buried him with a roost of snow.
So that makes the key fight the battle for the lead. Tate and Kuster separated at the moment. 3rd place, there's Sean Crapo.
Pretty quick recovery by Hibbert. He only lost a couple of spots. There he is in 4th, but you can see the margin, and Lavallee now has joined the top 5.
Yeah, it isn't so much the spots, but the distance. That's going to be very difficult to make up.
It's a good look at Sean Crapo sitting comfortably in 3rd. Actually, not really losing a lot of touch with Kuster. He's behind him, but not that much. There, that's your margin at the front. Some of these guys, and if he needed to trade some paint, do a little rubbing, he was going to do it, and that was an ultra-aggressive pass to the lead.
You know, he got him so hard, he traded more than paint, probably got a couple Amsoil decals on the side of his sled now.
Yeah, he ground right on by, no question of that.
Yeah, he's going to come back. Here's Crapo and Hibbert.
Hibbert just passed Crapo and picked up 3rd. Now that's Ross Martin. That's a lap sled. Hibbert's got to try and get by. Teammate to Tate.
It's not going to be all that easy.
Well, he got him.
Oh, but damn!
He picked off Tate just that fast, that easy.
Kuster still in front now. Hibbert into 2nd place.
That was Morgan that Hibbert just went by, so he's down and seriously down. And believe me, he recognizes that this is a prime opportunity for Hibbert in terms of points as well as wins.
Kuster, Hibbert, Tate. Then the early leader, Sean Crapo. Levi Lavallee sits in 5th, 3 to go.
You hear that again, boy, I tell you, that it just sounds so wrong, but it is so fast, and Hibbert making up some ground.
Now, Tucker Hibbert goes for the leader, Carl Kuster. There's traffic ahead for both of them. Fortunately, look back and get out of the way.
2 laps laps to go. There's the margin. And Hibbert has come from back in the pack to second. Hit, got off the sled, coming back again.
Oh, now he's challenging. 68, Tucker Hibbert down, slides to the inside. Oh, man, on the final lap now. They're trading paint all the way around. Eugene, move over. Good move. Still side by side, still on one another. Tucker pulls away into the lead.
And did you notice when Tucker made his initial pass, it was the same spot that he and Kuster came together before, but Tucker did the grinding that time.
And he accelerates for the line. Tucker's done it. A major come-from-behind victory. Kuster into second place.
A major come-from-behind twice victory. Unbelievable ride by the T-Train.
So Tucker Hibbert takes it while Morgan, with some major problem in the engine room, has to pull by the side. Oh man, that's gonna have an impact on this championship. Tucker Hibbert begins to celebrate now, as he should. That was an amazing run. And as Greg, you say, off the sled, he really is twice come from behind here in a single race.
It was a stunner, getting lots of congratulations. There's Brian Sturgeon, race director. Here are the results and the report. As you'll note, Morgan not even in the top 10. He's dead last. Apparently, an O-ring came apart on a coolant line, and he started losing serious power in that cylinder.
Ah, yeah. Tucker knows how well he's done. Jerry Bernardo is there ready to interview him. They're the point.
Look how much ground Tucker has made up.
Let's go down now. Jerry Bernardo is with Tucker.
The T-Train right now, it is never a dull moment in the house when you're riding on your mod and trading paint hardcore with Kyle Kuster. I mean, that was an unbelievable race.
Yeah, it was good. You know, I just wanted to win real bad, and I got kind of a poor start, and Blair and I were together for a while, and I just knew how to get by him, and I don't know, I just wanted to win bad. I was passing people all over, and then Carl, I tried to pass him, and he kind of got into me pretty hard, and I went down, so I don't know, I didn't know I was close enough to catch those guys, but I got back up, and I wanted it bad, so.
And it looks like you're having fun out there.
Yeah, it was a good race. I was getting roosted pretty hard, but you know, the track's good, my sled's working good. Chevy Truck Speedworks Arctic Cat on top of the podium for 2 times now in 1 week, and I'm feeling good. I've been winning a lot, so I just want to go out and keep her up front.
Fans were all over that. Thanks for the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, now trails Morgan by 18 points. It's going to go down to the final. And what about Carl Kuster? Guy was worried about his job at the start of the season. Nice run for Carl Kuster today. Old 47C was in the middle of the fight, but couldn't take Tucker at the last. Again to Jerry.
After not making the stock final earlier today, this guy right here said, and I quote, "I'm going to trade paint in the mods." And you just did that. That was an incredible race with Tucker Hibbert. Man, what a great show. Is that fun to do or what?
It's totally fun, and we bump and rub pretty good, and we're firm passes, no doubt, but we trust and respect each other, and it's no problem.
You said you wanted to win. What happened on the last lap? You couldn't get anything to go?
I was kind of stuck with the lines that I had, and I kind of figured that he might have been putting on some time over here. I could hear it and couldn't quite figure it out quick enough, so better luck next time.
Better than that other race. Good show.
Absolutely, thanks.
Hey, is it cold?
No, it's not bad.
It is freezing out there, believe me. That's not for show. Those ears are cold. Imagine, after a long final like that, how those hands are doing, Paul, in those light gloves.
And how about Justin Tate? What a great run he had. Now he's with Jerry Bernardo.
JT, another great race in the mod class. You were second behind Sean Crapo, who hole shot it again, but you worked by him and led for the early laps. What happened after that?
Yeah, Sean got a good start, but I got by him the first lap, and just kind of rode my race, and then I don't know, halfway through, I don't know if I had an electrical problem, but she started to not run so great, and so I backed off and, I held on to third, which was, key thing, just stay on podium, so that was about it,
You still feeling it?
Yeah, it's great, man. Podium's good, you know. Just every weekend gets stronger and stronger, and just stay healthy, you know, and you just keep plugging away.
All right, say hi to DJ, who's home after his operation.
Yeah, DJ, we miss you out here.
Good job, man.
Justin looking good, currently 6th in Pro Open points, but nobody better today than Tucker Hibbert. What a day.
Well, you know, along with his abilities, they started the season, they weren't real thrilled with how the sled was working. They have been working it big time and massaging it. That sled's come around awfully nicely.
So congratulations to Tucker, and we'll be right back. Some great coverage coming up. If you've missed a couple of the shows, well, they re-air, and there are re-air times and dates. And of course, coming up, the grand finale from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. There are the times and dates for you. Boy, don't miss that. It is going to be awesome.
Well, here's just some of the look at a weekend of success for Hibbert. That, if you notice the smoke pouring out of there, he had that 1/6 place. Otherwise, he has been brutally effective. This is another look at that pass in pro stock that he put on Morgan, which led him to the win. Remember this moment with Carl Kuster from the Open final? That took him from second, knocked him back into the top 5. But it wasn't going to last long because he laid this pass on once again.
For Greg Kramer, I'm Paul Page. Thanks a lot for joining us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more about WSA Snocross, log on to ESPN.com. The crowd is up at Lake Geneva. Today is the day. It's championship time. This is the most challenging track, but it brings out the best in Blair Morgan. Sometimes he wins. Sometimes he crashes. And sometimes he does both. Blair Morgan on 7C is in position for the championship. Morgan is well out in front. Oh, goodbye, Blair Morgan. He's the champion. He is the winner. Oh, Superman! Oh, and Blair Morgan's down. Look how smart he is, though, to bring his knees up. Blair Morgan takes the victory despite a rollover that could only be done by Blair Morgan. Are you amped? We are. I'm Paul Page with Greg Kramer, and today's the day, the Nielsen Enterprises grand finale from Lake Geneva Resort and Spa in Wisconsin. WSA Snocross. It's a great day. Well, a little warm for snow, but that's cool for us. And today we will determine the champions in both stock and in the modifieds, the open sleds.
Well, Paul, you're right. This is it. It is time to determine champions, and the crowd has come out. Certainly 67-degree weather will bring out a huge crowd. But the fact of the matter is they had so much snow and cold earlier, they were able to make the kind of track that made Geneva famous. And this, in turn, has also been responsible for bringing out the crowd. I mean, they're packing the hillsides, let alone the bleachers and the chalet. Now, here is Blair Morgan. And he came in here this weekend with an opportunity to clinch the Pro Stock Championship in qualifying, and he has done that. He had a great run through qualifying, the second in the first round. But as we bring up a look at what happened, there it is. That win in the second round, Paul, is what clinched in the championship. Tucker won both of his round heats, doing everything he possibly could, but Morgan's win in the second one clinched it. As we look at the points, the tail is right there. There's 28 points between them. There's only 25 for a win, so Morgan has clinched. But big story there. Look at Sean Crapo. After missing all those early races, he spot his way up into 8th in the point.
And Tommy Amasalo was consistent and is now closing in on Carl Kuster. We'll take a look at qualifying. Round 2.
This is how it unfolded. Right there, you saw Morgan with a great line to the inside, and he checked up a little bit, got out of everybody's way, worked that inside line. And look at this move right here, Paul. Eye around the outside, just enough, and exited right past his teammate Kuster. That was it.
And adios, Blair Morgan, because once he was in front, it was goodbye. Already wrapped up the championship. Feeling good.
You see the arm pump, and he doesn't normally do that after qualifying, and the reason is because right there he knew that run, Paul, had brought him a Pro Stock championship. For him, it was important because he lost it last year, didn't sit well with him, he's won it back.
So 9 WSA National Points Championships for Blair Morgan, and more to come. Welcome you back to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, the Grand Geneva Resort. This place, winter, summer, any time of year, is a place to be. Take a look at that circuit. We said it's the most challenging, Greg.
It is indeed, and they've had a ton of snow. They've been able to build the old-style circuit. It starts just off to the right of the screen. You see where the drivers are turning? That's going to be the start line. They launch and run all the way up to the top of the peak here, and believe me, that lip, especially on the mod sleds, they catch phenomenal air. They do a hairpin, and then this monster flyaway. They actually ski jump almost the sleds down that. Come down, make a hairpin turn at the bottom, another climb to the other part of the peak here at the top of the ski resort. Then this mogul field down into a 90-degree right. Then you do a side run coming at us on the left of the screen. Huge canyons there. Then a falling away downhill 180 back to the finish line. It is an unbelievable track.
You got to be fit, you got to be good, and it's time for the Pro Stock Final. Tucker Hibbert, top qualifier Pro Stock, but already knows that this championship has slipped away from him.
There's Mike Island, he's the only other gentleman other than Morgan and Hibbert to win a final this year. He'd like to make it 2 if at all possible.
Carl Kuster, he's currently 3rd in Pro Stock points, and that should cement that question we've had all year about whether or not he'll have a ride next year. I think there's no question about it.
I would agree. Here's Justin Tate, who arguably has been one of the top drivers in the latter third of the season. Once they got that sled figured out, he and the crew, he has been unbelievably quick. And Paul, Sean Crapo, what a finish to the season.
Yeah, Crapo is still looking, though, to get up on the top of that podium. And when they hand out the championship awards, it's going to be this guy, Blair Morgan, that takes the top spot as the champion in Pro Stock.
One thing to consider, Paul, both he and Tucker, with the championship decided, got nothing to lose in this one. They could just go out and brawl if they want to.
There's the back row. You already saw the front row.
Noel Kohansky has a bad injury to his forearm. We'll talk about that a little bit more.
And here we go, the last race of the season in Pro Stock.
Well, no big surprise there. It seems like Sean Crapo owns the Sport Tech Hole Shot Award this year. He nailed it there.
So Sean Crapo working on the high side, comes out ahead of the rest of the pack. Great start for the guys, though. You got to give him credit for that one.
That's Yuji Nakazawa, who's on the left of your screen, the black sled. But I think that was 96 Shabitsky, who just rifled underneath him.
Yuji Nakazawa and Carl Shabitsky come down the hill side by side behind Sean Crapo.
Down into that 180, it falls away, and you've got to start working some lines here. And Tate right there trying to work the outside of Nakazawa.
Justin Tate works way over to the right side. There's Yuji. Currently sits in 3rd, but Tate now Tate goes off. Oh, man.
He didn't come far enough off the sled, though, Paul, to even disconnect the tether, so he didn't have to restart, but he's lost a slew of positions.
At the same time, look at that gaggle up at the top of the hill. Here comes Carl Kuster as he comes alongside Yuji Nakazawa.
Yeah, Carl trying the outside here into the hairpin at the bottom, and I think Hibbert is right behind him trying to make the move as well. Look at the lead that Crapo's established already.
In fact, Sean Crapo is able to look over his left shoulder, look back and see what is in pursuit. Maybe he should have done that because it's a whole line of bad guys.
Yeah, there's Crapo, there's the margin. That's Shabitsky, and look at Hibbert working the inside of Kuster.
Tucker Hibbert gets around Kuster and now starts to work on Carl Shabitsky.
And right behind Kuster is Morgan, so he's starting to join the fray. Neither of them getting great starts, but Hibbert's the one who's making up the most ground right now.
So Tucker Hibbert's come forward into 3rd place. Shabitsky and Crapo ahead of him, and now Shabitsky's no longer ahead. Sights are set on Sean Crapo.
He had an awkward landing just a little bit over one of those little moguls there, did Shabitsky, and that was enough to let Tucker just use the momentum and go by. And that was picked up by a hay bale.
Take the tough block with you.
Well, he shakes it off, but he's lost a lot of ground to Hibbert. But more importantly now, he's got pressure coming up on his mud flap back there, a couple of skidoos.
Yeah, did you notice, though, that Hibbert, as he came down the hill, was seriously looking back at the right-hand side of his sled toward the rear of the track? Like he's concerned about something there. Well, it's not showing in performance. There goes Hibbert. Goodbye. I'm in the lead.
Did you see how brief a time it took him to eat up that margin? Hibbert is absolutely uncorked here.
Crowd is loving it. This is the battle back at third now as Morgan comes through the field. He fights with Chabitsky and moves into third.
Boy, it didn't take Morgan long to get by Kuster and go right after.
Oh, come on. Hang on there, guy.
That gives you an idea of just how hard these guys are riding. And Morgan's going for second.
And Morgan's got second, just like that. He comes around. Sean Crapo moves into second place and now is charging after Tucker Hibbert.
I'll tell you, nothing's going to motivate Morgan like seeing Tucker have that little bit of a wobble on that downhill. He knows Tucker's on the edge. Again, Tucker a little squirrely.
Morgan takes advantage of it. Closes within now just a few feet behind the leaders. Field stretches out.
Both of them getting a little crossed up over the Castle HJC finish jump, and Morgan has made up a lot of ground.
Morgan trying to work on Tucker Hibbert, the leader. Hibbert looks back to find him. Secret is out, by the way, now on Tucker Hibbert. He is out of Snocross next year and going for motocross. Right now, going for him is Blair Morgan. Side by side again down the hill to the cheers of the crowd. Morgan almost loses it, takes the lead. They come back neck and neck.
Hibbert tried to counterpunch pass, but Morgan, there's a smooth lane. There's a huge little lip on that uphill run, and there's a very smooth lane cut in it. Morgan got to it first. Tucker couldn't get there. Cost him some time in the air, and Morgan was just pinning the throttle, and there's your margin now.
Well, with the fact that Hibbert is going to retire from Snocross this year, it probably makes that battle between he and Blair that much more poignant. Looking back in the field a little bit.
It's a huge deal if that is indeed the case, and that's what we're hearing. Here's the battle, third, fourth, and fifth. And it's still Kuster hanging that one out. Look at this here. Oh, now.
Kuster. Oh, man, what a great piece of work.
Yeah, Crapo got by him. Kuster got back by him. That's a great scrap right now.
Now Carl Kuster running in third, all alone for the moment. And interestingly enough, also well behind first and second.
Yeah, once Morgan got by Hibbert, he has found some extremely nice lines out on the track right now, and Hibbert just not able to answer. Although Hibbert doubling down into that right-hander at the bottom, it's a pretty good run there. And Tucker's got some good lines here. It's really deceptive, that run on the left side of the screen coming at us, just how whooped out those holes are in there. And you can see Kuster is just dipping into each of them. The two guys up front, Paul, with a little double rhythm, and they're making up a ton of ground.
Back to Carl Kuster, still with Carl. One thing I like about what Carl's doing is he comes down through the whoops there. You'll notice on the last whoop, he positions the sled way over to the right. And that actually starts the rotation of the sled for the left-hander ahead. Look at this fight.
That was Chabitsky, and this is the two Polaris riders. Chabitsky got by Crapo. Crapo now is going to pop outside, try and make the run. It'll give him the inside. Empties alongside down at the bottom. Not too much speed for Chabitsky. Now, what's he here?
Oh, look at this. Tucker Hibbert is now catching Blair Morgan.
Well, they both got off their rhythm a little bit in that big whoop section and did the ramp. Oh, man, obviously Hibbert is closing up big time. And he's got 5 wins in pro stock already this season. Love to finish the season with a 6th. But look at Morgan draw away in the uphill.
Well, the win is all. Mike Island is off down there. Looks to be okay.
He's just trying to get out of the way at this stage. That was Kuster that just went by. Here's Chabitsky and Crapo. And I can see Chabitsky. He's got a problem.
Yeah, he's got a problem. He's going to pull off.
Look at the frustration. Meanwhile, here's the uphill run. Second uphill run. This tight turn way at the top.
And Tucker continues to look down and to his right whenever he can.
Watch Tucker in here. Feet there. He's moved over. He's got a nice line in here. Almost doubled that last couple of whoops, and it allowed him to make up a little more ground once again. Ooh, way wide on the exit.
2 laps to go now for Tucker Hibbert and Blair Morgan in their final battle in pro stock. Well, for Hibbert, that's riding a bronc there, isn't it?
Oh, man, he is just tanked. Look at the air!
And that brings him right up along side by side with Blair Morgan. He crowds into Blair, but Blair has the best of it.
Blair got a pretty good exit out of there as a result of Hibbert having to back out. Now watch when they make the turn here. There's a little lane cut right here where Morgan's going. See it? Yeah. Both sides of that are real high. They've cut through that lane. Hibbert did the smart thing, followed him through there. He's made up some ground, Paul.
And I think Hibbert at least has a good idea of where they can work the course.
Boy, he's close. He is so close.
Here comes Tucker.
This is where Tucker doubles.
And Tucker takes the lead.
Oh!
Oh, man, this is good.
White flag lap, and Hibbert has run him down. Ooh, Morgan squirrely.
They've seesawed back and forth. They've fought one another their entire careers. And that's what they do here toward the end. Carl Kuster, he runs all alone. And Tucker Hibbert, well, he's still got Morgan there on this final lap. There's still a chance for Morgan. Listen to that sled slam down as Carl Kuster works the circuit. Back at the front. Slower sled just ahead. Probably will not be a factor. Morgan's going to try it.
Hibbert gets by the traffic. Morgan is trapped.
And Morgan does not. Morgan tries to go far to his left. Gets trapped behind the slower traffic. And the win goes to Tucker Hibbert. Man, was that a nice run.
Unbelievable. His 6th win of the season in pro stock. His 9th on the year. Here comes Carl Kuster. That's your margin ball back to 3rd. Kuster is a good rider, but I'll tell you, Morgan and Hibbert took it to a whole different plane.
I am out of breath. I can't imagine how those guys feel. What a great run. There's Sean Crapo as he finishes up the final lap, and he'll finish in 4th place.
Crapo very likely the top Rookie of the Year candidate right now, and there's Blair, 2nd in the race, but still celebrating because he's got himself a pro stock championship. Look at this scrap.
Yeah, out on the circuit, they're still going at it. That's how far behind the leaders they were, but still there was some great fighting going on back throughout the field, but the focus was up in the front between Tucker Hibbert and Blair Morgan. As we look at the final result, it was Hibbert that came out on top, and so that allows us to show you the points at the end of the season with Blair Morgan taking his championship.
Hibbert obviously got the win. It's what he needed, but still, Morgan is champ.
Blair Morgan, Tucker Hibbert. Let's go down to Jerry.
Never a dull moment when you and Blair Morgan are on the track. You become the first person in 6 straight tries to defeat him here. I saw you hand off the handlebars at the bottom of that gnarly downhill. What was going on in your mind?
I don't know. The track is just real gnarly, and as soon as I got behind Blair, I pulled all my tear-offs right when I got out front because I figured I had it made, and there come Blair. I didn't know where he came from, and then I was screwed. I couldn't see anything, and I was just letting her hang out. A little out of control a few times, but got the job done.
What about the importance of the points championship?
Blair had it won before we even rode in this final, so I just wanted to win. And, you know, hats off to him and Skidoo. They had a good year, you know, and we got 2nd.
When we come back, the snow bikes and the big question, what's up with Tucker Hibbert?
He's not quite as focused on the snowmobile thing day to day as he has been in the past.
Now the Snowhawks, a lot of people have never even seen those. Talk to us about them. Tell me what they are.
Well, it's kind of a crossover from a dirt bike to a snowmobile with a little more suspension.
What's the motor?
503 fan, a Rotax.
How is it to adapt and make the switch, jumping from one to another?
That's a little different because the Snowhawk's a little heavier. The corners are a little different. You got to lean. And jumping it is about the same, so it's pretty similar to a dirt bike.
You guys on Snowhawks pull chicks?
Oh, yeah.
And now the final plea to invite them to ride Snowhawks. Sell it. Ready? Go. No, wait. Go.
It's the best thing you can possibly do. You can zig in and out of the trees. They're an awesome machine.
You know, every year you kind of look ahead, look into the semi-pros, and we are here with Steve Martin out of Evanston, Wyoming, and say, who's coming up? What's the next Morgan Blair? Who will that be? Well, that's the subject of our Inside Cross with Greg Kramer, brought to you by Ride FX, high performance shocks.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our final Inside Cross of the 2003 season. You know, if ever a microphone was overdressed, today's the day. Unbelievable the weather we're having here. And as is sort of our habit at the end of the year, we want to take a look at some of the up-and-comers. And the first place you have to look is right here with Blair Morgan Racing and a guy by the name of Steve Taylor. In the semi-pro ranks, Steve Taylor was the man. But then he had that horrific crash in Vernon, New York, got a very severe concussion that's put him out for the rest of the season. But how about his health? Well, the guy you'd know best is Jamie Ansu.
He's really coming along, and we're hoping to have him assessed by a neurologist again next week. And if the assessment is positive, he'll probably come back and race late in the year. He was the fastest guy out there by far this year, and he's for sure going pro. No question.
After Taylor had his problems, Steve Martin was the guy that picked up, was winning a number of races, and in fact, comes into the final round here at Geneva with a big points lead in the open class and a very close second in semi-pro stock to Matt Judnick. Judnick would be another guy that we have to take a good look at. Check this out. Coming in here, he's had 78 starts, 57 top 5s, 75 top 10s. If there's any way you can have a true veteran in the semi-pro classes, it would be Judnick. Will he step up? Well, we're going to have to find out. A couple other guys that have been chasing him that might surprise us. 465 Mike Schultz on the Polaris. Call him Monster Mike. Nobody rides with more guts and abandon than Mike does. And a guy who's really up his game, the Arctic Cat rider, Robbie Malinowski. This guy has come on fire here in the last few races of the season. Another tough story is that of Aaron Christensen on the Polaris number 137. Aaron has been running for a few years in this category. He has a slew of wins, but at the round at Shawano, he broke his leg, took him out of all of the points championships for this year. He's another guy with the skills, but with that broken leg, will he decide to spend another year in semi-pro? That's a look at the guns we may see very soon in the pro class.
And when we come back, we have a treat for you. Semi-pro action, some of the best ever. Hey, we welcome you back to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Old Kohansky, how you doing? Getting ready to go racing later. We want to take you back to Gaylord, Michigan, and the Skidoo Michigan Challenge and the semi-pros. Remember that day? Cold, windy, with the semi-pros on the line. The semi-pro stock final. We take you to our call.
Well, Paul, there's a look at Robbie Malinowski. This is a young gentleman who is having a turnaround season. Got hooked up with that super team of sorts, Ola Racing, and it has been a remarkable run for him. Mike Schultz, they call him the Monster, out of Fort Ripley, Minnesota. He is having a career season, one of his strongest efforts we've seen.
And there's Matt Judnick from Duluth, Minnesota. You see him from time to time in Winter X Game competition.
Well, he's truly a veteran of the semi-pro ranks, over 75 starts, and he is a remarkable talent. And here is a look at Steve Martin. He was really discovered in Hillcross out at Winter X. Warner Racing picked him up, gave him a shot. He has blossomed into one of the top stars of the semi-pro ranks.
And as we take a look at the lineup for this 10-lap run in semi-pro, Steve Martin came through the LCQ and starts in that second row.
Makes it awfully tough for Steve. There's the launch. Look at him go right to the inside. Oh, and he got bumped.
Hammer down, here we go, but Steve gets caught up in trouble. So Martin was hoping for a good jump on the start, didn't really work out.
Up front is Robbie Malinowski. He got the whole shot. And Martin is, I'll tell you what, Martin, even from the back row, Paul, got a remarkable start.
And we look at the battle for second place. Schultz and Martin. Martin coming out of that back row, flying up to get into this fight. Look at that.
Schultz trying to duck underneath Malinowski, and he's got the inside line. Martin trying to follow him through.
Malinowski bogs down, drops back to third, going to go all the way back to fourth place now. From the lead to fourth in just one corner.
Look at this incredible action here. Judnick is in third now. You're right, Malinowski slipped back to fourth, but there's your leader, Mike Schultz. Nobody's going to out-muscle Schultz, and nobody's going to brave him, I guess would be the best word, man. The guy, if he has to, will tape it and hang on for dear life. But Steve Martin is so much finesse-driven.
Well, this is going to be like self-contradictory, but if there is a veteran in the semi-pros, it's going to be Steve Martin. He knows his way around perhaps better than everybody else, and is expected, as many of these guys are in the pro ranks, perhaps as early as next season.
That's very true. I mean, there's speculation as to...
Oh, Malinowski just gave a big nudge.
Well, Robbie Malinowski is not short on aggression either, and he'll do what he needs to get to the front. It's got to be irking him that he went from essentially the lead back to fourth, and he's going to be doing everything he can to get to the front. Apparently, that means trading a little green paint with somebody. He's up to it.
There's the fight for the lead. And it continues to go side by side. Martin tries to get him down the inside.
Once again, the snow conditions here after some bizarre weather. The snow is really mealy if you get up on top of the berms, and that's what's been happening. But this time, Martin noses ahead. Oh, and see there, he just hit and stopped for a second, but Schultz was tucked behind him, couldn't do much with it.
Martin, Schultz, but look right behind Schultz. Malinowski is back into the battle, going for second. Oh! Fakes high, goes inside, and then pushes him way off.
I don't know what Malinowski was thinking there, Paul. He got underneath, and when he went to the throttle, he pushed out, got into the side of Schultz, and he just kept it pinned. Pushed them both way wide on top of that slop, and underneath them both went Judnick. Very opportune pass by Judnick.
You're right. I'm not sure what he was thinking there.
Well, it cost them both. It certainly didn't help him. And it dropped him back once again, and it let another player by them both. And you get a guy of Judnick's experience out in front of you, he's going to be awfully tough to pass.
On the other hand, Malinowski is good and already trying to work his way back toward the front.
Malinowski, as I mentioned earlier, stepping up with the Ola Racing team. Great opportunity for him with tremendous resources this year, and he has responded.
Back up at the front, Martin and Judnick. Not in a head-to-head fight at the moment. Judnick playing catch-up.
Two very different lines being used.
Look at this! Malinowski just moved into third.
Well, he got back around Schultz. So he's back up into third. Boy, talk about seesaw here.
Yeah, you think about this. Here's Martin, the leader, comes out of the second row. Malinowski, who is twice now, slid back in the field, and he's up in third place.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, it's been a great never-say-die effort here by Malinowski. Now the question is, does he have anything for those two guys up front? And I was going to say a little earlier, they're running very different lines in a couple of the corners. Martin ramping out, using a little bit more open arc through some of the corners, and Judnick choosing to stay a little bit tighter, try and get further off the sled and do a tight cut underneath.
There's the battle at the front. A moment ago, Judnick just got a major face full of snow. Turned around, shook it off, now closes in. And now goes to the inside, and he's got him.
Martin, exactly what I was talking about earlier. He got up on top of some of that junk, Paul, and I mean, it just sucks the momentum out of you. He almost stopped, and Judnick just shot through underneath, and I think Malinowski got him as well.
Yeah, as he bogged down there, Malinowski came around, moves into second place now. He's taking a look at Judnick for the lead.
Well, he's got to do it now. This is the last corner, last lap. I don't think he's going to do it, Paul.
As the checkered flag comes out, and Matt Judnick stock final. He looks back to see who's behind him. And Martin is able to make it across in 4th place.
Pretty remarkable run for Martin, considering came from the back row to the lead, then had that moment. But today, it's all about this guy.
Well, that was the call at a very cold Gaylord. And today here at Lake Geneva, Martin took the win, but Dudnik with a 7th place finish takes the championship, followed by Martin and Schultz. Now with Tucker Hibbert, what's going on? What's up?
I'm just going to go out and win races, and then we'll go from there. If it happens, it happens.
Do you have the feeling that really his heart's not in it?
That story coming up next, and the Pro Open Final. We welcome you back to Lake Geneva while we wait for the start of the Pro Open Final. There's been so much conversation on Tucker Hibbert, who may be about to take a different road. There's a question of focus. What about Tucker?
Well, Paul, ever since the X Games, there's been speculation that he may not be coming back to snowcross, maybe focusing on motocross. He's had his moments of frustration. His finishes haven't been great, and perhaps it's indecision.
He's not quite as focused on the snowmobile thing day to day as he has been in the past, and he's probably not quite as into it as we would like to see.
Hibbert is losing ground here.
Anytime anybody doesn't give 100%, we get a little bit disappointed. I think he's still close to 100%, but not all the way there. He's maybe a little more tentative than he used to be.
But at the Manufacturers Cup in Shakopee, Jerry Bernardo caught up with Tucker, and perhaps there was a change of heart, a decision made.
He really needed that.
I'm just going to go out and win races, and then we'll go from there. If it happens, it happens.
Do you have the feeling that really his heart's not in it?
I've been training super hard this week, and I feel really good, best I have all year right now. So the championship will take care of itself as long as I go out and win and ride the best I can. That's all I can do. I feel really good, so I'm going to go out and win some races for sure.
Look at him tripling, Paul.
Oh, Hibbert is so good when he's good. Hibbert looking for an inside line. Goes side by side, and Tucker takes the lead. He is laying the speed on now. Tucker's done it. A major come-from-behind victory.
Unbelievable ride by the T-Train.
That's how you do that, boy.
Final race of the season, the Pro Open Final. There are the points, and Tucker Hibbert, if he wins this and Blair struggles, well, Hibbert could have the championship. Yuji Nakasawa had an incident. As we tried to start Pro Open just a moment ago, they called it a no start, brought everybody back to the line.
And there you see Tucker, 8 wins overall this season, combining Pro Stock and Pro Open, and they're retouching some of the tear-offs, getting the gloves ready to go and the like. And there's Morgan, who has a shot at reclaiming both of the Pro titles. He earned them 2 years ago, lost them to Tucker last year. He wants a bad ball.
And you saw him take the Pro Stock win. Here is the lineup for the Pro Open Final. 10 laps, that's the front row. There's the second row.
This is a very poignant moment, I think, for Tucker, because they've made it official. It won't be announced till the banquet tonight, so they're not talking to anybody as we go green. But this is his last snowcross race, and man, did he get the start.
Oh, that's the way to do it, especially if you're done, and Tucker Hibbert comes roaring off the right side and into the lead.
Last race of the season, he gets the Sport Tech Hole Shot Award and the point. As you said, what a way to start out your final.
He continues to lead. Oh! Why don't you just shove him off there?
Man, forced him way wide up into the junk, and that really killed the momentum for Morgan.
Now here comes Tucker Hibbert down the hill. The rest of the pack pursues him. Boy, they're together back there. That hole shot really worked for Tucker because it's keeping him out of this.
Exactly right, and it is, remember, incredibly warm here, so the snow very moist, and when it hits your face, hits those goggles, it just sticks. And if you've had the misfortune of running out or tearing all your tear-offs off, you're in for a very long day indeed.
Morgan currently 5th. If he stays there, he will be the Pro Open champion at the end of this 10-lap run.
The guy right behind him that he just passed Noel Kohansky, who I mentioned earlier, had a crash in practice, opened up a huge tear in his arm.
Oh, and Tucker Hibbert has slowed down. He's stopped. Tucker Hibbert climbs off the sled. The field comes around. Does that end the championship right there?
It has to. There's no way. I mean, one, you saw him throw his hands in the air. He's frustrated. He knows it's serious. He's still not moving. That sled is broken. And you know what? That's it. He's just coasting right now. There is no life in that drivetrain at all. It is done. He is out of it in terms of the championship. Boy, after such a great start to his final race, that's a tough, tough way to have it end.
Bad news for Hibbert's great news for Carl Shabitsky and Mike Island. They run first and second, but they've got Blair Morgan right behind them. And while Morgan has the championship firmly in hand right now, he's never been the kind of guy to say, okay, that's cool, I'm just going to coast back here. He isn't going to do that. He's going to try to rip those two up.
Well, absolutely, and again, he's champ. I mean, really, unless something unbelievable happens here, and I can't see how that could happen even mathematically, he's the champ. He has nothing to lose. Either way, he's going to win the championship. Why not win it after a very aggressive ride and maybe a victory in the final race itself? So he's going for it.
Shabitsky and Island, they line up one behind the other. Morgan decides to try a different line. He gets around Island, moves to second place.
That was a sweet move. He waited for Island to get through that right-hander, shifted to the right just a little bit, and Morgan went left, got by him. But look at Island come back by him.
Mike Island comes right back, comes to second, still has a nose ahead. Now they're side by side, and they remain that way. Morgan gets a little bit ahead, finally takes second back over.
Just unbelievable commitment by both those guys up over that huge lip into the hairpin, carrying some serious speed in air. Now Morgan trying for the lead, Paul.
Morgan going against Shabitsky. It didn't look hard, but it doesn't look like Shabitsky's going to give it up either.
That jump they just went over is one of the toughest jumps I have ever seen. It is an incredibly steep uphill, and you launch over it, and if you get too much air, you hang. And gravity almost starts to pull you back, and it's a trade-off. Do I hit it hard, get up really high and try and clear a couple holes, or do I just sort of tiptoe over, get back on the throttle? And I don't think anybody's really figured out what the best way is. They're just doing what's comfortable.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what we figured out. Blair Morgan is both the Pro Stock and the Pro Open champion. Unless something unbelievable, you know, aliens coming in and grabbing him or something. But we still have a great race going. Shabitsky second, Mike Island's third. They're behind Blair. And of course, they'd love to have bragging rights of having nailed Morgan at the last race of the season. Or, for that matter, one another.
Very true, and keep in mind, if Island can do something here, he's the only other guy to have won a final this year.
He's got second.
Got him.
Back now at seventh place, Tomi Amasalo.
What a sweet cutback move. Kuster went underneath him. Tomi tried to do the cutback pass, and Kuster covered it. But for a minute, oh, look at Tomi, just got exactly what I'm talking about. That wet, sloppy snow roosted right into his face. And there is Island in second. And what I was going to say, did you see him throw his goggles?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sure that's a smart move.
Well, obviously, he got rid of all of his tear-offs, either just using them too much or just accidentally ripped them all off. And he's opted he's just going to have to rely on that big visor overhanging that helmet and some quick reaction times to keep that slop out of his face.
Yeah, and, you know, we talk about it being snow. It is, after all, Snocross. But when you come up behind somebody and he lays the power to it, yeah, it's snow you get in the face, but it's also got some velocity, and there's always a little ice in it.
Well, it's coming off of a 170 horsepower engine and huge lugs in the tracks. Here is Kohansky, and I was talking earlier about the fact in practice he opened up a big gash in his arm. They had to actually put stitches in the muscle to close it up, and he's very concerned about his endurance in this race. I tell you, he has come on form, Paul, the last couple of races at Gaylord. He had a solid third place, looked like a good podium going, and he lost the cylinder in the engine. It's been bad luck for Noel, but boy, I'll tell you, he's finally recovered from that leg injury and really has gained the form. And Justin Tate, man, what a great finish to the season he's had.
4 laps to go, not only in this race, but in the WSA season. And what a great season it has been. With Tucker Hibbert by the wayside, Blair Morgan will take the Pro Open Championship. The race itself not yet entirely decided. And Trevor John.
I think the story with Trevor here is his perseverance all year with that shoulder, and really very quickly at the end of the season he's got to go in for surgery. He elected to put that surgery off to get through the season. He's been racing in a lot of pain. Tell you what, this is a special breed, bordering on wacko in a sense, but I'll tell you what, they put on a great show and are an absolute joy to watch, and they're great guys. There's no question of that.
Kohanski riding with that injury continues to hold off Tate. If he's hurting, he's not showing it.
The only concern is with that bad arm, if you're hanging on.
Oh, Kohanski almost loses it. Opens the door for Tate. Spectator. Very early on. And that may be one of the last views that we see of Tucker in Snocross.
It's going to be very interesting at the banquet tonight to hear what he has to say on the topic of his future. Oh, now Kohanski is under attack from Crapo. What I was going to say for Noel, with that one bad arm, if he's relying too much on hanging onto that sled with the other one, you could get what they call arm pump. You just use the muscle too much, and then you lose your ability to hang on quite literally.
Well, Crapo is now doing everything he can to get around him. They come down neck and neck on the hill. Crapo goes ahead.
Tell you, that outside line and that right-hander at the bottom of the hill is generally the one that gives you the quicker exit speed. The way the inside works is you have to be willing to just go deep, deep, deep into that turn and do a slide job on the exit. And Noel just wasn't able to execute that this time, and Crapo made the pass.
So Sean Crapo now runs in 5th place. The leader remains Blair Morgan. And you can almost sense it with under 2 to go. The season is about to come to an end. Here's the fight for 3rd. Carl Trubisky and Justin Tate.
Tell you, this is a breakthrough weekend in a way for Carl. I mean, he's got wins on the SWC Championship Tour in the past. He's certainly a very talented rider, but just has not had much of a season. And for him to finish, he's had 2 strong runs today now, including this one. If he can...
Oh! So close!
Was that me? Calling the praises there, and he comes bounding off the sled. But he showed some tremendous speed once again. Boy, I always wondered, did he just jinx the guy?
You see that the white flag waves up ahead as Morgan has started his final lap. There's Tate currently sitting back in 3rd.
He's got Crapo in 4th. And here's Morgan way out front, but poor Kohanski, every time somebody gets by him, you think he might get a break. He's got Kuster all over the back of him right now. Here's the battle, in fact, into the side of him. Noel just is constantly being attacked here.
This is the fight for 6th place. Noel's in it. Back at the front of the field, Blair Morgan, all alone now. On to the win and on to the championship. The final straightaway. What's he going to do?
Little Blair flare is what we've come to call that. Look at that.
But Blair Morgan takes the Pro Open final. Going a little bit back.
There's Noel. There's Kuster. Looks like Noel was able to fend him off. That's Jamie Ansu right there, the team manager, the guy that makes it pretty much all happen for Blair's team. Driving out on his sled to give him some congratulations.
Yeah, and our congratulations to Blair Morgan for, again, a dual championship, and certainly additionally to the WSA, because they've made it a great season. Competition has been fantastic. Morgan's teammate, Carl Kuster, finished up in 5th place. So here now are the final results on the season, with Morgan taking the win.
Pretty remarkable. That was Morgan's 97th start, his 55th win. Unbelievable stats.
Blair Morgan, you said it. Blair Morgan is unbelievable. So with Blair Morgan taking the win here at Lake Geneva and in the final race of the season, here's the point standing. Blair Morgan is the champion, followed by Hibbert, and then Morgan's teammate, Carl Kuster.
And Paul at 9th and 10th, 2 rookies, Lavallee and Crapo. We'll be right back.
Well, with Tucker Hibbert peeking around the corner to see Blair Morgan take the final race of the season, take the championship in both Pro Open and Pro Stock. What a year it has been, but it wasn't easy. Let's go down to Jerry Bernardo.
Dual championships today for Blair Morgan, Stock, and now the mods. Let's just go backwards for a second. Hole shot, great start, red flag. Restart, mid-pack. Describe your mindset.
Yeah, I was kind of upset when I had that restart because I was out front, but yeah, the restart, you know, not too bad a start. I was right behind Tucker, and then he kind of got into lead, and then he broke right away. So it was too bad, you know. I was looking forward to battle with him.
You continue to engrave your name in stone in the history of Snocross. You must feel good about that. I mean, with championships after last year, coming up short, this year, you put it all together.
Yeah, you know, I definitely wanted my championships back, so got them back where they belong, and back in my house.
It's nice to have your own team, too. Blair Morgan Racing. Amanda Johnson Championship. I mean, Kuster with the 3rd in the stock. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, I know the whole team is great. You know, it just really comes down to the people you work with, and it's awesome. You know, Skidoo, awesome. You know, the great people to work with. You know, I've been with for 2 years, and it's been great. And you know, all my sponsors like Diablo Suspension, Enzo, Cold Wave Clothing, CNA Pro Skis, Woody's Traction Products, VP Fuels, Oakley Goggles, Fox. It's all been great.
He wants to thank Tucker for breaking down so he could win at Moto.
Well, the sportsmanship and the friendship remain. But for now, at least, it's over. Tucker's going to go on to other things. Blair Morgan, of course, will remain. Oh, yeah! What a wonderful way to end a great year, Greg.
Absolutely, and I mean, do not discount what these two achieved this year, Paul. There were 20 finals this season. Morgan won 10 of them. Tucker won 9 of them. Hyland, the only other guy to get one. That is dominance by the pair that have ruled this sport for so long. And keep in mind, Morgan has now won 10 of the past 14 WSA Snocross Worldwide Championship points titles. You heard him say to us, my championships are back at my house. He truly believes that with those kind of figures. Who can argue?
But the great thing is behind the battles of Hibbert and Morgan, there's depth to these fields and some great racing. Congratulations to Blair Morgan with a double championship once again. We hope you've enjoyed your time with WSA this year, and you'll be back to join us next year. We know we've had a great time. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more on Snocross and everything else, log on to ESPN.com.